So, what are some, maybe two or three economic signals you're watching today that most investors might be ignoring?
My background's real estate. I'm a real estate dog. So just to be real clear, my bias is that I like real estate mostly, or one of the top reasons is because it's a physical asset. So when we look at inflation trends over the next year, or excuse me, over the next decade, and we expect that inflation is going to have upward pressures, which we're seeing right now, then what we see is that hard assets, physical assets, things that you can touch that are real, typically benefit from inflationary environments. And we have a long history in the US of seeing that. So, one, I like real estate. Two, I used to invest on the syndication side. We are pros at the industrial space specifically. I love industrial in the United States. I'm a huge fan of bringing manufacturing back to the US. And I think that honestly is a solve for a huge amount of the problems that we see today. But the biggest question I had on the syndication side was that I work with very sophisticated investors, and it's a blessing, but it's also a chin check. So when we work with, I started off with two family offices that I worked for. I ended up running their acquisition divisions. I ended up running their asset management. These are people that I'm dear friends with to this day. If there's one thing that I took away from these multi-generational family offices, it was this. You need to be thinking a decade plus ahead. These guys think generations ahead. It's extremely impressive. But what I saw, the trend that really alarmed me and concerned me and really readjusted our sights, was they were shifting to fixed returns. They were shifting to stability over craziness in the marketplace. And that's what I think we're seeing in many different markets today. That's what I think the story of the last 5 years has been, is really the everything bubble where everything's overpriced. There's inflation across the board for asset classes. So the trend of inflation that I kind of mentioned prior, I think that the action on the back end is to find things that benefit from inflation. I think real estate's going to be the premier asset class there. And what we leaned into was one thing above all else, was investing into the debt behind real estate. So it's investing into real estate. It allows us to be in multiple markets at a time. I think single family homes, for all the crazy headlines up, down, sideways that you see on single family homes, I think the fundamentals of single family homes over the next decade are the strongest investable asset class in real estate today.